and welcome to the August meeting of the Windham Southeast Supervisory Union. Shoot, I forgot to get out my hybrid statement. See if I can do. This is a hybrid meeting, which means that some or all of the public body is meeting in person, and some or all of the public body are meeting by remote control. Oh. Sorry, I can't do it from memory this way. Where did it go? Deborah, have you got yours?
No.
Because mine is not turning up.
Do we really have to read this every single time?
Apparently.
I think you do, supposedly. And, no, I don't have mine. Wing it.
Okay, I will
Wing it. We'll back it up.
Please note that any votes being taken during this meeting that are not unanimous will be taken by roll call vote in accordance with the law. If you have trouble accessing this meeting via remote, please try to contact someone in this room by email or text if you have it, and we will try to help. Nevertheless, the meeting will continue.
Good.
Where did my folder go? I'm really annoyed by that. There should be an orange folder in there. Anyway, we will enter into the consent agenda unless any board member has any item which they wish to be removed from the consent agenda. Okay? I would entertain a motion to...
So moved.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Great. And I'll scroll past that. Moving on to the administrative report.
Okay.
You have a handout.
I do. I'm sorry. Oh, hang on. I think that should work.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Tim, I didn't see the way.
Yeah, I came across the minutes of your last meeting,
Mm-hmm.
but then I went back to the website today and I couldn't find them for the SU. But the last time I read those minutes, there's no mention that I recall reading of the discussion that you had about the extension of the superintendent's contract. Now, I know I'm not a member of this committee, but I'm wondering if the committee is aware that the minutes might have excluded what I think is an important issue to be included in the minutes.
So, can I just chime in a second?
Sure.
The last set of minutes were June 24th. All of the individual boards met at that point. I think you mean the one before, which is June 11th. And when I saw it, it's just a simple statement that says there was discussion about the policy and it has gone to Pietro Lynn. I think that's the line.
Is that in keeping with what you're...
Well, my point is, shouldn't the minutes be a lot more specific about such an important issue? One of the most important functions of the SU and the SD is the hiring evaluation of the superintendent. So that discussion about extending that contract seems to warrant a greater detail in the minutes for the public to read. I'm not a member of this committee. That's just my opinion as a member of the public.
I'm not sure what to say, because it seems to me that discussion was actually a couple of meetings before that, but I could be wrong about that.
It was on 6/11.
Was it on 6/11? Okay.
I pulled up the minutes.
Would we like to amend the minutes so that they say...
Can you read that statement?
I'm happy to read.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
Please,
yeah.
thank you.
Let me get back to it. I apologize. Let's see here. The board reviewed the proposed new policy, superintendent evaluation and contract. A discussion followed, and the chair will reach out to our attorney for a clarifying question.
Okay, then perhaps we could amend the minutes to say a clarifying question regarding the ability to extend the contract by a single year. Does that sound good to you, Tim?
For additional years,
An additional year, I think, 'cause we
Yeah.
wouldn't,
for an
if we were
additional.
gonna do 2 years, we would just do a 2-year contract, I assume.
So regarding the ability to extend the contract for an additional year.
Okay,
I will get back to Mo.
terrific. And do we need to vote on that amendment?
Yes, because we
Okay, do I hear a motion?
so moved.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Okay, now we have to vote to approve the minutes as amended again.
Yes.
Let's probably do it that way.
Yeah.
I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed or abstentions? Okay. Thank you for pointing that out, Tim. Okay, Mark, what you got?
Okay, I'm gonna be pretty repetitive from the last 2 nights. But a couple of things that have been exciting developments over the summer have been the creation of our very own food service program. We've been able to hand out thousands of meals to the community throughout the summer. Every Thursday, early evening, we are set up in the parking lot here at the high school and handing out free meals. So it's been very successful, received lots of positive feedback. Our summer programs with children this summer, again, the feedback has been appreciation and the quality of the meals and the taste. So I would say we're off to a really good start. So I would like to highlight our new director, Harley Sterling, and the work of Susan Grabowski and their leadership in the spring and summer months to bring everything together. So the real test clearly will be the first weeks of school, where we're distributing food at all of our schools. But I'm pretty confident that there will probably be some hiccups. There always is, but I'm confident that we're set up for success, and that's really exciting. And this is the board that supported that vision. So again, thank you for your leadership in supporting homegrown food nutrition service that we'll be able to provide our students this year. So. Another development, which has been really exciting to see, is the continued development of our Brattleboro Early Childhood Center, which is at the Canal Street School. We've continued to renovate the second floor of that school to provide meeting spaces and offices. The first floor of the school will host 2 cohorts of pre-K students, which is an increase from 1 cohort. So we're fully staffed. Teachers are beginning to set up their classrooms for students and to welcome 4-year-olds and some 3-year-olds. So we're really excited to see that. One of the downfalls to Canal Street School is access in terms of parking. So we have been able to address that this summer. We have built a brand new parking lot right below the school campus. Just got finished up last week. It's really well done. Lots of nice landscaping, planted some trees as well. So not only does it increase access, I just think it's a nice look to a playground that was really falling apart and not really used. So I think one of the things that we are going to do is add a basketball hoop back to the parking lot. So outside of school hours and on the weekends, there's a hoop there for anybody really.
Nice.
To play basketball. So we need to add some lines for parking spaces. That's the next step, but it's nice to have that project done before the start of the school year. And I'm excited to agree to put a bunch of 3 and 4-year-olds. I keep saying it'd be nice to do a meeting over there at some point. I think we really should do an SU meeting at the school one of these nights after we kind of get settled
That
in.
would be nice.
I'd love to show off the space because it's really been brought back to life. You know, the building's over 100 years old. It's a historical building.
Gorgeous building.
Yes. So projects to come as we took down the playground on the campus at Canal Street School. A new playground will be going in the first month of the school year. So we won't have it for day one, but we will have it likely by the end of September. And those children spend a lot of time outside, so it's a really important project. The other thing I'd like to report is our summer edition of the Connection newsletter, or SU newsletter. I believe will be ready to be sent out to the community tomorrow, end of the day tomorrow, if not likely Friday. But that should be hitting your email inboxes by the end of the week, before the weekend. Next week, we will be welcoming new staff for new staff orientation all day Wednesday and Thursday. So Janet Slazinski and Stacy Sawyer have done a ton of prep to get us ready for those 2 in-service days to welcome new staff members to the SU. So it's really important that those days are well done and we give a good impression to our new folks joining the school district. So I'm very confident that those will be 2 really successful days. I know Janet and Stacy have put a lot of time into preparing for next week. Previous few years, Bryn Tucker has been the visionary behind it. But it's nice to have Janet and Stacy kind of take that over this summer. Lastly, some other dates for the notes. Our first in-service day with the entire school district is Friday the 22nd. And then Monday and Tuesday, the 25th and 26th are in-service days as well. And those combination of those 3 days are used to, set the stage and set the foundation for the first day of school, which is Wednesday, the 27th. So coming very, very soon. Lastly, the Inspire School has closed. Over the last 2 years, we've been transitioning students into our homegrown programs, and the special ed department has been in touch with the few remaining families to develop transition plans for programs within our supervisory union. So that is in the works. As was shared at the end of last year, we are starting a new program at Oak Grove School, an intensive program, and we are staffed and ready to go for that. So I'll be happy to report to the SU board on kind of the development of that program in the first few months of the school year. So lots of good stuff. Principals are working really hard to get ready for those first days of school. There's a lot of excitement. Also some sadness to see the end of the summer. But I feel like folks are really geared up for a fabulous start to the school year. So I'm really proud of our school district and our school system in general. And I've seen a lot of great development in the last handful of years, and it's really nice to build on that year after year. So I think we're primed and ready for a successful start. to the school year.
Thank you. Questions for Mark?
Tim.
Tim, do you have a question?
Yeah, I wasn't able to unmute. I don't have a question, but I just wasn't able to unmute.
That is from the Zoom bomber lock. Let me fix that.
I'm not a bomber.
I know you're not, but I have basically everyone locked. I had just forgotten to make you a co-host.
Thanks.
Yeah, I lock everyone because I don't want to see that again. Okay. So does anyone else have questions for Mark? Kim?
Not a question, but just great kudos to the new food service because they're creating a whole new program in all of our schools and to pull off thousands of meals for our students all summer.
Yeah.
That's a huge compliment to them.
Yeah.
Do we have any idea how
That's
many
exciting.
families we're serving? I know we tend to count in meals rather than humans.
I think I don't want to say it out loud because I don't want to get it wrong, but I believe we have an article as part of the connection highlighting the summer meal program. So we should have those statistics as part of that article. Yeah.
I expect everyone to be pleased with the food program because it was very successful in Putney and
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of excitement about that, and there was a lot of people who really contributed to pretty big change. So a lot of voices helped in making that decision. So a lot of dedicated people who really want it to be successful, and we'll work to support, especially the first month to get us off the ground.
I'm excited by the idea of our children eating food.
Yes.
Good food produced on a farm, for example.
Yeah.
rather than-
Having enough food.
Yeah, having enough food.
And local food, as much local food as we can create partnerships with.
I might have said this before, and if I did, forgive me, but I have not forgotten the day I walked through Putney Central School's kitchen and they were quartering chickens. Actual chickens, not something out of a plastic bag.
Right.
Chickens. And it was like, yes, the children will eat real food. So yay. Now, I believe we have a new hire this evening. We do. I assume everybody got a chance to look at the CV?
I actually don't have that in front of me.
Kyle O'Brien.
Kyle O'Brien is an EL,
ELL.
one year ELL position.
Super.
So, do I
Brian
hear?
told us to, so Brian's name is on it.
Yeah, it's got Bryn's signature on it.
I trust we're good.
So, do I hear a motion to approve the hiring of Kyle O'Brien for a 1 year, one full-time equivalent ELL ML teacher?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Welcome aboard, Kyle. Okay. Moving on to public comment on non-agenda items. The closest thing we have to public here is Tim. Unless you have something you'd like to say, Peter. Okay. So, moving on to new business. The recommendation to the redistricting task force, I sent that out there, well, it's attached to the minutes, but I added something in red last night during the ESB meeting.
Oh, yeah, I remember, okay.
Yeah, because we were talking about making it less specific or more specific, so I put the language that is somewhat less specific.
Is that in the letter, or, okay,
It's
there we
in-
go.
yeah, it's in the letter.
I see, all right, I got it.
Yeah, and I don't know which way we'd like to go with it. You know, it's reworded slightly differently for the SU and the SD, but mostly that's a matter of composed of member districts as opposed to composed towns. And Vernon.
Thank you. I was not even on that, wow.
Actually, I have you, are you the Vernon School District or the Vernon Town?
We are the
School
Vernon Town School
District? Okay, then let
District.
me put that in
Yes,
there.
I'm sure, I did not catch that.
That's
Vernon
what I
Town
couldn't
School
remember, because Dummerston is not.
Okay.
Don't, well,
We are VT.
before, when they existed. Okay. do we want to be more or less direct? Because I've kind of thought about that, and the being less specific thing, it does occur to me that we're not sending a message that we think they're right that way.
I'm
That
sorry,
that we think that they're necessarily right that way. That if we say this, they might go, okay, cool, but there might be a better idea out there, and I don't know that we're committing, just because,
Okay.
oh, of course you can do.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're discussing this again because since the last meeting last night, I've been thinking about it, and it was said that it would be premature to talk about exploring possibilities with two other districts. Yet, this is what the task force is doing right now with their mapping device. They are considering configurations of various consolidations. So I really don't think it's premature at all. And to guide their thinking, to let them know, well, okay, here's a few districts, SUs, that want to consolidate. Great, that takes us off the hook for that area. Let them do it. It meets our criteria. I just think that being more specific would be much more powerful. And the truth of the matter is, and correct me if I'm wrong, aren't we going to explore the possibilities with Windham Central and Windham Northeast anyway? Isn't that a fact of the matter?
Yes.
It is? Well, I mean, assuming that if we move forward, there's a third thing here that could happen, which is that the redistricting task force could just go, this is not possible, and all of this gets scrapped. That could happen. Because, we've discussed other districts, and there are places where it's a very silly idea. Because,
So when we say the WSCSU will explore the benefits, what are we saying there?
I think I think
Who is that? Is that us? Is that Mark? Is that, who's doing it and when and
I
how?
think lots of people will have to have that discussion,
Okay,
definitely including Mark for good grief.
so is that the right wording to use? If we can't answer the question as to who it is and what they'll be doing and by when, why are we saying that?
But I think that you're being way too passive here. You're the SU board. Of course you can simply explore the benefits of three SUs saving money by combining transportation and food and administrative issues. Of course the SU can explore that. That's one of your responsibilities. The same thing with the SD. And by exploring doesn't mean that we're committing to anything at all.
and in my head, the benefit is reaching 4,000 students, which is that minimum amount.
That's a benefit by the state standard.
Yeah.
That's a benefit.
The only real
Got it.
benefit I can perceive is money saving. That we could split costs on transportation or special ed, or, we're already exploring some of that with the BOCES. Yes? It would be something of an expansion of what's in the BOCES. Maybe. It all depends how it would all work out. This is merely I think that what we're really saying here is that we are not interested in becoming a supervisory district.
Exactly.
Which is what the governor proposed, which is hundreds of miles and thousands of students. And honestly, Mark, do you really think you can fit traveling to as far as Bennington into your week and as far north as Springfield? Exactly.
Not likely.
And I don't want people in another town deciding about the future of our towns. So like to say, I'm going to use this as a instance, I'm not saying this would happen. But if the people in Bellows Falls wanted to say their school, what would stop elected members from this giant board from saying, you know what, we need to close Putney's school? And the thing that y'all from the bigger towns are not getting is if we lose our schools, there's an excellent chance we're gonna lose our towns. And that is, we're not just fighting for the children, we're fighting for our existence. And maybe not Putney, because we're weird. Brian, you have something to say.
Yeah, I guess I just want to speak about the distinction between being really specific about which supervisory unions we might want to work with and not being specific about that. I just don't feel comfortable saying specific ones unless we've already talked to somebody in those supervisory unions and they're at least open to it. And I don't have any indication that that's happened. And so I don't like the idea of locking ourselves into that prematurely.
I think that's why we're using the term explore. And some minor conversation has gone on with Windham Northeast and Windham Central.
Would it be wrong to say including but not limited to?
Yeah,
Or possibly including, for example, something like that I would be perfectly happy with. But at this stage to make it clear that we're already decided who we want to be uniting with doesn't make sense to me.
have you got the copy of the SU letter in front of you?
Yes.
Okay. And see the red language there?
Yes, I also see including the Windham Southeast, Northeast, Central, and so forth. So I would say including, for example, or something like that, I'd be more comfortable with.
That works for me,
Possibly including.
including.
Or with continuous supervisory unions such as, and list whoever you want.
Oh yeah, such as.
I like that.
I like
that.
I like better.
That sounds better.
I just think it's very likely that maybe Windham Northeast wants to go with Springfield. So anyway, I think if we put them in a box, it makes it more difficult for them to want to work with us.
So, sorry, now I'm going, I know how to run a computer. That's what you did. WSESU will explore the benefits of combining with contiguous supervisory unions such as Windham Northeast and Windham Southeast supervisory unions. To our purpose.
You're missing one.
I took out Windham Southeast because we're not looking at combining with ourselves.
Okay, you just said Windham Southeast.
Oh, did I say
Yeah.
that? Sorry. Windham North.
Should we have
East.
Southwest in there?
These are just the examples.
Okay.
I was just using them as examples.
Such
Also,
as,
they're
okay.
the only ones we've had contact with so
Okay.
far. I mean, other than the larger RSBA.
Put a space in between union, comma, and such as.
I'll just
Oh, there it is.
share for the record,
Mhm.
because I shared my thoughts last night. I agree with Brian very much. I mean, the board's gonna do what the board's gonna do, but if we send something out widely that names other districts, you know how people read statements like that? They read it as like, this is the plan, they figured it out. And I just worry that there would be potentially backlash.
I think that's why we just changed the language to contiguous supervisory unions such as.
So for my case, I don't think it really changes the intent of the statement.
Okay.
As soon as you name very specifically supervisory unions, a quick read of this says, oh, we're exploring the benefits of combining with these two.
Okay.
The such as, for example, but meanwhile, you've kept the entities as named
Okay.
in the space, and the changes that are being suggested, for my taste, don't change.
So then just
So you-
changing it to with contiguous supervisory unions.
Yeah,
Period,
that's,
you'd feel better if it
well,
was.
that's what we came up with last night
Okay.
at the SD side of
Okay.
the house. And I appreciate that that is SD. This is now truly
That's-
supervisory union, right? Which is where the discussions are going to take place, at the supervisory union level. At the SD level, what we're saying is in fact, the statement says we want to stay within a supervisory union,
Yes. that
right?
is
We're
our
not,
major
we're not
point.
identifying as, I don't know politically. I think it's making a very clear statement that we are in heavy negotiation with Windham Northeast and Windham Central.
That is a good point. That is a very good point. Why?
So we like it, just contiguous unions, period.
And then moving on to our purpose. So if it reads, the WSESU will explore the benefits of combining with contiguous supervisory unions, period. Our purpose is to optimize cost savings and efficiencies. Does that work for everybody? Okay,
Yep.
about to hit the erase button.
Erase.
Bye-bye.
And then just make the.
Yes, and then make it black? Yes, I can do that.
Okay.
Except apparently I can't. Who decided that eliminating my
There we
little
go.
buttons was a good thing? This is what I want to know.
Alright, our purpose is to
Okay.
optimize cost savings where possible, and then work with them to have engagement, oversight. Okay.
Okay? Are we satisfied with this recommendation? I mean, this is the opening salvo. We don't know what else is going to happen
When's their next meeting?
next month.
Okay.
Oh, when's their next meeting?
Their next meeting.
The 19th. They wanted this stuff to them by the 19th.
Okay.
So 6 days.
I move we send this letter to the Redistricting Task Force.
We will send this, with an affirmative vote, we will send this letter to the redistricting task force. The SD will also send one. I have recommended to Vernon, they might want to send one as well. But I don't know if that came up in the
It did
meeting.
not come up last night, it was too late to get it on last night.
No
We've got
problem.
another meeting on the 20 something.
Yeah, well, if they're late, oh well. So, you're signing on here anyway.
Right.
So, do I hear a motion to make this recommendation?
I think Kim did.
You already did.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Okay, this is the letter that we will send. Okay. And there's the information about the school governance models for anyone out there reviewing this later connected to our agenda. There's information on how the two models will work. Now, VSBIT Proxy is on our agenda. They sent me a letter and then told me they had sent all the materials to Mark, but that this was available on their website and I couldn't find it, and I'm pretty good, so Mark, it's a proxy.
Yeah.
So this is for the Vermont School Board's Insurance Trust. We customarily vote by proxy. If everybody's okay with that. It's what we did last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like them.
Yeah, then, I questioned the wisdom of combining all of, but that's been done deal.
It's been
So,
done.
it's done, it's over, so. You are-
I will say VSBIT has been a real pleasure to work with.
Oh, I'm glad to
They've
hear
been
that.
very responsive.
I feel like Frank
And
says nice
proactive.
things about
Yeah.
them. And if Frank says nice things.
This isn't,
it-
this isn't a criticism of VSBIT, this is a criticism of
The way things
wound up, yes.
seem to be, yeah.
So I would entertain a motion to assign our proxy to the voting people at the annual meeting in September.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Hi.
Any opposed or abstentions? Great. And Mark, I think there might be something there I have to sign, but I'm not sure because they didn't send it to me. They sent it to me last year. Thank you. Okay, we are done with new business. Moving on to old business. Under policy, the following are presented for adoption. D1, personnel recruitment, selection, appointment, and background checks. F16, head lice, and F28, school activities. Do I hear a motion to adopt these as written?
So moved.
Thank you, Deborah. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed or abstentions? Okay, those are presented for adoptions, and Bethany reports to me that we are more or less caught up with the SD as far as approvals go.
Woo-hoo. That
So-
reminds me that Vernon is. Vernon policy.
We're crazy. Okay,
But you guys have
so
done all the hard work, so.
basically that is my opinion, that we've already done the work. By the time it gets here, well, let's just do it.
Yeah.
So I don't have this on for a second first reading. The next, which is the superintendent evaluation and your contract negotiation. Because I was sent a question about the staff participation.
Can you just state what Pietro Lynn's
Oh,
opinion?
yes, I
Yeah,
apologize.
that's okay.
But as far as the question regarding whether anything in this policy would prevent us from extending a contract for a year, and the answer to that is no. If that is something that this board wishes to do, or a succeeding board, it is within there, nothing there will preclude that from happening.
Okay, and that,
So nothing in the current, nothing in this draft policy prevents
Correct.
us, okay.
There's nothing-
and nothing needs to be included in this draft policy
Correct,
based upon it, but that was just a sort of a sidebar
yeah,
question.
yeah, that was
Got
a
it.
question Carrie had.
No,
because
yeah.
It's happened in the past,
Got it.
so it was a reasonable question.
Okay.
But I was given another question. Where did we go? Regarding naming who the certified staff who were asked to participate might be, and suggesting that they be nominated by the association.
Certified and classified, or
Certi-
just certified?
Certified, I believe.
Uh-huh.
Which I guess in theory I don't have any opposition to, but it opens a can of worms if we're involving the union in the decision. What do we have to discuss with the union to make a decision like that? Would they have to get their members to vote? And do we then have to pay them because it's an extra activity? Either.
So this is the part in red, but now we're,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
The evaluation challenge is structured
Yeah.
input from.
And I believe these are questions, I don't know if this is more of a personnel, like, should we be asking Mike this question? Or should I, contact Pietro again?
Yeah, I think Mike and Pietro. Really.
Maybe Pietro can Mike can contact Pietro
Sure.
because they will have the right terms to put together.
Yeah, that makes sense. Mike's on vacation this week, but he'll be back next week.
It's okay, we're not meeting until next month anyway, so we should be all right.
So is this just, again, my question, this is just for certified? So then I'm gonna say, but classified is in here as well. It
Yes.
says certified and
Yes,
for
but-
representative group of certified and classified.
Yeah, this question would involve the teachers because strictly speaking, the other employees aren't actually in a union, they'll have a contract.
Right.
Right,
However, this section reads, structured input from a representative group of certified and classified
Yes.
staff. So it's,
I mean, classified is a union?
It's not.
They do have a
They're
contract. I think.
union.
Do
That's
they-
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I'm saying. So I'm wondering, why are we just wondering about?
I sat through those meetings. They better be.
I know.
That, you sat through both meetings, didn't you?
Yes.
So I'm confused about the terms.
So,
Classified is the not teachers.
Correct.
Para- para-
Mhm.
Paraeducators, admin, admin assistants. You've got all of your
Custodial staff.
custodial staff,
okay.
anybody who works on the grounds, keepers.
Yeah.
So why are we saying structured input from a representative group? But then we're saying the input will be gathered from a survey distributed, what's the representative?
That is the question we're trying to answer. How do we, because we don't feel it would be helpful to send the survey out to everybody who works here.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
But the question is,
How do
A,
we-
how do we make the selection of who is representative? And B, if we're dealing with the union, would this count as an extra activity that would require us to pay them? You know, if they coach the drama club, they get paid. I imagine if they paint their own classroom, they get paid. Probably not, but you know, if they gotta.
All right, so the
Or-
question we're asking is what does the term representative mean, and are there any,
And who makes the determination of the group? How are they selected?
Yes.
Right.
And
The selection process.
and are there any contract
implication.
implications?
Yeah, because I was specifically asked about the union making the selection,
Mhm.
and that popped into my head when, I don't know, yesterday or something. Wait, what does that mean? Does that mean we have to? So we need to know before we step any further into it.
It feels like it's getting very complicated.
It is very complicated.
Agreed.
It's gotten very complicated. So,
Okay, so this is we'll have Mike talk to Pietro.
Yeah. After he gets back and gets his feet under it. Which is why it was presented for discussion rather than re-presented for a first reading.
so because we're talking about certified and classified, the only way to select individuals is through union involvement? Is that the only way?
It does not necessarily have to be. That was what was suggested.
Right.
That they should be the ones to make the selection.
Right.
And I was not clear on how the selection would be made anyway.
Right.
So I guess we've got a question for personnel / legal, and then we can come back and figure it out, you know, what exactly that means. Does that make sense to everybody?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So if it's not the union that's doing the selection, who else could be doing the selection?
A hat?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Random?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Honest to Pete, because other than
Random is not gonna do it.
I know that.
Because
You could get somebody
who has no
contact.
interaction.
Mhm.
Right,
So-
which is,
It obviously we want individuals who have interaction, who have something to say.
So for example, Mark, you interact with department heads very often, or grade level leaders.
Teacher leaders, not really grade level, that's more Hannah's department.
So
Okay.
we
But
will
folks on
Tim-
committees.
Tim, yes?
Can I say something?
Yeah, yes, sorry.
Yeah, I like the idea of not using the association and just going with random. And random could be easily done just by taking every certified teacher who's full-time teaching in the classroom and doing it randomly every third name or every fourth name. there's easy ways of doing random selection.
So can I just interject, what was just said about random, and maybe you didn't hear, was that random person might be someone who has no interaction at all, but the person you skipped over does.
My response to that is, there may not be interaction, but everybody is impacted by decisions made from the central office, from the superintendent's office. So everybody is impacted. If there's a few who are not, well, if the selection is broad enough, that's okay, it's taken care of.
Okay, and that raises the other issue when you said if the selection is broad enough,
We don't say
what
how many.
constitutes a representative group? What is there some magic number?
No, survey researchers would certainly say that 25% would be adequate.
25% of
Staff.
staff would be about 100 people, wouldn't it? Am I?
You know, if we have 800
Oh,
staff, if you're talking classified and certified, that's 200.
that's 200. That's a big group.
Yeah, who probably do not regularly need to interact with Mark.
It's not interaction.
I'm sorry, what?
It's not necessarily interaction, but it's being impacted by decisions.
Uh-huh.
And Mark could answer this. Aren't there about 200 certified teachers?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, but it's certified and classified.
Are they
So-
answering the same survey we're all answering?
That was the idea. That they
Oh,
were
okay.
That's it, yeah.
Okay, I wonder if we should maybe clarify that in that language, because the way I'm reading it, this input will be gathered from a survey distributed.
Brian, you have something?
I'm just wondering if it would make sense for us to answer that first question that we had of what are the contractual implications if we involve the union? And maybe once we get the answer to that, then that will help us formulate a plan for distributing a survey that could be a combination of a couple of different approaches, maybe even combining something from union suggestions from the union, if we go that way, to something random like Tim is talking about. But it doesn't seem like we can really decide all that right now unless we know the answer to that first question.
That's an excellent point.
Thank you, Brian.
However, I don't think we're remiss in saying, well, if by chance it's not the union, not because of anything that Pietro or Michael Kelleher might say, but is there a different approach in this flow chart of evaluation? And if we are not looking at the union making the decision about this representative group of classified and certified, well, how else might we do it, leaving the union out of the picture altogether? And then just playing the argument out in my own head, if we were to go with what Tim said, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're it, 8, you're it. It might very well be a union issue where the union says, no, you can't do it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, got it. I just played it out in my head, where the union would object to that and say, no, we want control over it because you're dealing with our people.
And just who's
It's not
going
the
to
union's
compile?
responsibility to hire the superintendent.
No, I
Yeah,
know, that's
right.
that's why I
Or to
want the
evaluate.
union out of the picture. I want the union out of the picture because I think it's getting into murky I'm sorry, Brian,
Yeah.
I'm talking and I'll be quiet. Yeah,
I'm not sure what else is appropriate, but it seems like you could also get creative and we're suggesting that we want input from each school location. Can't we ask the teachers in each location to nominate a couple of people to, or however many, from their school to answer the survey? Or another approach is for department heads or team leaders to choose someone or randomly choose people from their, from their teams. I don't really know exactly what's possible, but it seems like there could be a lot of other options.
I like that idea. And I also think that in the past, classified and certified haven't even been involved in this at all. Why not ease into it by simply focusing on certified, who are the most important people in the classroom? Well, I shouldn't say that.
no, please don't say that publicly. Right, I think that's a mistake.
Well, I agree with Brian, though, we need to know what the implications of even asking the teachers to do this at all, in any way that we choose, from they have a union contract. I think we need to know if there are implications for that before we can move forward with any decisions as to how to make the selection. Because, yeah.
So are you talking to Mike?
Yeah, I'll put an email together. I'll make sure you're in on that, Mark, so that you know what's going on with it.
Okay, sounds good.
Because I'm seeking only information.
Right.
Okay.
And I do think that once we have a response from Mike / Pietro, we have to come back to this. Because I don't think it's for the union. I hear that statement loud and clear. I don't think it's for the union to make a determination about this evaluation at all.
Yeah.
And so I would want to revisit it no matter what.
That's reasonable.
I also, when I think about the bureaucracy of a school, asking a department head to select someone is also a problem.
Yes.
Because of personalities, and someone could be selected, and I might be a part of that department and say, wait a minute, I served on a committee, I had one-on-one, I was on a search committee, how come I'm not engaged in this? So I can see this as getting very, very testy. That's it for me.
That's fair. And I'm sure we're going to discuss this more.
I hope so, yes. I know we will,
And we
not
might,
I hope so.
we might even want to kick it all the way back to the top person in policy. We don't know. It depends what we find out, I suppose. And thoughts people have between now and our next meeting.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Is there any other business to come before this board?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
there being no further business before this board, I move we adjourn.
Is there any discussion?
Yes.
Oh.
No. Your lip. Yes.
I didn't know to go, is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Thank you very much, everyone. I will see you soon.